左侧天然海湾，另一边是商业渔场，中间这片绿红树林是城市发展的天然屏障。绿叶如茵，树海壮观，同时也是候鸟的家。它们翱翔的地盘，南非栖息地之一马尼拉湾，面积近2000平方公里，沿海大片绿意，是紧邻马尼拉都会区仅存不多的湿地生态，能为候鸟提供丰富食物和提供庇护的栖息地。东亚到澳大利西亚迁飞区是一条候鸟迁徙的路线，它的鸟种数、个体数最多，总共会经过22个国家和地区，而且每年还会有超过250种的水鸟沿着这条路线来飞行。在这马尼拉湾的湿地就是其中一站非常关键的区域。但疗愈壮阔下，紧邻海岸的湿地却被五颜六色、突兀且不属于这的垃圾给占据。
This used to be ponds and water, so we used to cross here with boats.
So it's reclaimed na to?
Yeah, this part. So
以前都
this
是
is a private.
马尼拉湾沿岸距离市区不到10公里，原本的水路正进行填海造路，等于湿地门口属于私人开发商。要进到都会区第一个被政府列管保护的 Nabotas 红树林区，得是政府官员才放行。一早才刚抵达入口，附近居民正用小船接驳一袋又一袋垃圾，准备运出城外。这是他们每天的例行公事。光垃圾量一天最多能搜集到5000公斤。越往红树林深处走，能发现污染的数量远远不及人工净碳速度。捡的大多还只是塑料垃圾，被海潮冲刷上来的马尾草覆盖着湿地，飞来飞去的小虫，不知道有多少生物体长时间被掩埋腐蚀，种种揭露出这环境不健康的讯息。
Actually, the water is quite polluted with domestic sewage. So the coliform or the bacteria count in the water is very high. So yeah, it's possible that there are also pathogens that are waterborne that could be brought by some of this.
2.1公里长的红树林带，面积约30公顷，尤其马尼拉湾又是河流的终点站，每天的潮起潮落，垃圾跟着光临，连带河岸长期遭受污染，变扭曲湿地。
Some of the pathogens may persist, especially on highly polluted wetlands, because there are, number one, lots of nutrients for them. So the nutrients would be from the sewage, from the different chemicals, fertilizers. So it could host some of the pathogens.
最源头的水质被污染，病原体就有机会增生。潜藏的危机是这些湿地表层看不见的风险，可能借由它们来传递。
If you see those are the terns, the whiskered terns, on top of the poles. There's a lot of them. They're the most common migratory bird here in Manila Bay. So usually they come in the thousands or 10,000s. One time I was in Tainan in October, and I see during sunset they all fly to the fish pens.
独特深灰色躯体对比鲜明的白颊，菲律宾的4月份还能看到黑腹燕鸥身影，它们的上一站就是台湾。等到5月才开始北返，这只是其中一种常见的候鸟。
But sometimes they don't just stay in Taiwan. They fly to Japan, to Korea, to Siberia, or even to Alaska. And the birds don't just come from the Philippines, because sometimes they come from New Zealand, Australia. They'll just stop by the Philippines on the way up. So it's a long, long route. And they do that every year, fly down and fly up.
往南渡东，在北返繁殖，1年2次的移居迁徙是候鸟的本性。途中各站中继点，生态的健康和丰富性变得相对重要，毕竟是它们的能量补充地。
So when the migratory birds come, they eat the fish here in the water, and when it's low tide, so you see all the mud exposed there. So you have all the worms, the shellfish. So a lot of the fish eat there. So if the water is dirty, or if there's, the chemical content of the water, or there's garbage, it may influence what they're ingesting into their system.
就连在马尼拉都会区被列入拉姆萨尔湿地之一的国家保护区，成群的红腿娘子高跷横，或站或坐休憩，包围他们的却是垃圾为伍。因为污染问题，区内水笔仔几乎快被垃圾淹没。呼吸根倒挂着皱巴巴的塑胶垃圾，足以让树根死亡，更别说候鸟要在这环境觅食。
When I see a wetland disappear, when the birds arrive, they don't know where to go. So suddenly in the city, you have these different birds showing up because they're looking for places to go. But in the long term, it will affect the migration because they need to fly longer to find the next stop. So the weaker birds may die along the way. Or if they go to human areas, and people may catch them. So it will affect the migration population.
So one thing that could affect human health is when they can't find natural wetlands, they may settle near humans, which could actually cause more transmissions of diseases maybe from humans to birds or birds to humans because they have more interaction.
当候鸟无处可待，像是池塘、公园，都可能是它们更靠近人类的据点。看不见的微镜莫测，近半世纪，超过2/3新疾病是人畜共同病原体引起。曾有学者研究，只要几个突变，鸟类病毒还可能构成人传人威胁。
All the migratory animals, not just the birds, there's always the possibility that when they migrate from one place to the other, that they carry it with them. So it's not only from the area in Manila Bay that it goes up to wherever, or it can be from, I don't know, if they reach Indonesia or they reach whatever else south of here, that they can bring whatever from here to there or from there to here. There's always a possibility because, you know, everything is interconnected.
Because sometimes you see the health of the wetlands may not be very poisonous immediately because you don't see the fish dying yet. But it's inside the fish already. So when the birds eat the fish, it will affect their bodies. But in a long term, so when they fly back, or maybe not immediately, maybe for many years. So the overall health of all these birds will become weaker and weaker. So if there's a new strain of disease, they might be more susceptible to extinction.
尽管湿地是自然净化系统，微生物能帮忙分解部分病原体，但若平衡被破坏，很难100%发挥功能。专家分析，像是传染性疾病的病原体，很可能利用有机物质进行繁殖，湿地变成温床，而不是净化场。
That is also one of the areas and also one of the interests of virologists. There's also fear, for example, there's this avian flu. Then there's always fear that for farmers, for example, in Pampanga, they don't want migratory birds to enter their farm because you never know if the migratory animal is carrying with it whatever virus or pathogen that it can cause havoc to their farms.
候鸟的南方乐园，别以为只是区域生态浩劫，鸟的世界无边无界，横跨过经纬线，能传播的是整座生态岛链。